Hello, everyone on YouTube. I wanted to share this real quick because, first and foremost, I'm really happy about this one here. So, backstory behind this is a find on the Japanese auction sites, since I do frequent those. This is a Sony SL-HF3000. This, as far as I'm concerned, is technically the highest, rated consumer model made for the beta format. It can do beta. It's basically, if you know the 1000, it's basically the Japanese equivalent to that. Major difference is that this can actually do linear stereo, which for beta was a very rare feature, because basically beta more or less just went from mono linear audio right to hi-fi stereo. There was basically no in between like there was with VHS. However, there are some players that can do linear stereo. Linear stereo being that it can play back the linear track in stereo, whatever that means. It's just a mono linear track, but the hiss is in stereo, or it's an actual proper linear stereo track. That's what linear stereo means when I'm talking about these tape formats. So this one, again, is a copy of the 1000, but with linear stereo, and I don't know if there are other features on this, because I don't have a 1000 to directly compare this with. Story behind this. So like I said, I won this on the Japanese auction site, Yahoo Auctions. I use ZenMarket for my proxy shopping. I really recommend them. They are fantastic for this stuff. A guy was, I guess, clearing out something, a warehouse of sorts, because he had loads of equipment for sale, and I did grab some of those. This being one of them. I did have to fight for this one because, of course, naturally, this one is highly coveted. But I ultimately won this for $12, if you could believe it. Pre-shipping, of course, because shipping, international shipping, costs quite a bit, but it's really worth it in the end. I cannot tell you enough. So this thing more or less came in working order. Trying to think, what should I start with? Maybe the hi-fi demonstration tape, because that's a good beta 2 tape. So this player uses the 711B chassis. I don't know if there's like a technical variation of it, but it's basically the same idea with it has the planetary gear system and all that. If you're familiar with the terminology for beta decks, you probably know what I'm talking about. It's no different than that. So this unit has high band, and I believe that's what the Japanese call super beta. I don't think they're different standards. I'm pretty sure super beta and high band are like the same thing, but turns super beta on and off. You can just, on beta 2, you can just barely tell that it's on, but I turn it off, of course, because, well, I don't have any, aside from maybe one, I don't have any tapes made in super beta. So,
Sound has a look all its own.
super beta hi-fi tape. How this works is, can you hear me?
Sony introduces the biggest breakthrough in home video since we invented it. Sony Beta Hi-Fi.
Remote's not picking up my commands. So what I want to show here, because super beta hi-fi tape does have a linear stereo track. So how you select the tracks on this thing, you have beta hi-fi, you can mix them together, the hi-fi and the normal audio track. And then you can just select normal only. And this one does have linear stereo, which is actually pretty rare for this format. Only two tapes that I know that have a proper linear stereo track are this and the Warner Brothers Tape of Creep Show. And this is, because this is primarily an editing deck, you can insert, audio on the linear track. And I do know through the Mr. Betamax webpage that you can insert either the left or right audio tracks. So that means you can go with the hi-fi tracks, you can have a hi-fi and an independent linear track, which is pretty nice. So yes, this is what the display looks like. It shows beta 2. This is the time duration. This is the clock, which I have not set because I'm never going to use this for recording, so why would I set that up? So eject that. So this thing did not come 100% in working order. I did have to do a little bit of repair on this. It was as easy as literally turning a screwdriver, because on the picture there was snow at the bottom of the screen, and on hi-fi tapes there was major distortion. Well, I shouldn't say that. There was either no hi-fi coming through, or when the hi-fi did come through adjusting the tracking, it was major, super gargled. Well, my suspicion was correct, because generally when there's snow at the bottom of the screen, that means the exit guide on the tape path is off. So just adjusting that got the snow off screen and gave me good hi-fi audio and good picture. So that was $12 worth spent, I must say. And I just finished watching the movie E.T. on this format, and I can say it played with no problems, no tracking issues whatsoever, or any of that. Because of course on these units, what can happen is, because the pinch roller can wear out, and plus these tapes, depending on which stock you have, like the L750 or the L8, was it 830 or something like that? I can't remember. What can happen is that because it uses thinner tape stock, it can ride, up against a pinch roller if it's not in good enough condition. That can cause tracking issues. This one so far has not given me tracking issues, and I also cleaned the pinch roller with rubber renew, so that whoops. So that really helped after cleaning the tape path and all that. That was another thing that this thing had an issue with at first. Sometimes the tape would enter in crooked, but I actually manually just fit it in at one point, so to say, and it hasn't really given me that much of an issue, except for that part. So I guess I better watch out for future. Reminder, I should watch out for future uses of this. So this is a beta 3 tape, as you see. This is from a late 80s recording from a Cleveland station. This is the same station where if you seen my uploads, old uploads of some recordings with hi-fi, the successfully clean tape commercial, that came from this same station. But this tape does not have hi-fi on it. It's just linear only, which is unfortunate, but what are you gonna do? With this stuff, I don't have that much of a standard. I'll take what I can get, and considering that this has commercials intact and all that, I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah, this is beta 3. As you saw at Unity, with the tracking knob at Unity, that is, this thing has a lot of snow on the screen, but fortunately, it's playing it very well once you adjust the tracking. So that's that on a beta 3 tape. Let me show you one that has hi-fi on it, albeit not as interesting because, no, not that one. It's actually one of the higher grade beta tapes. Because as you see, look at that, you can actually see both reels. Yeah. which is nice. So, story behind this, there was like a little cheap eBay lot of like 4 beta tapes or so. Play button. One of these, so this one is some episodes of the show Picket Fences, which I had not heard of until I got this tape. Get this. How do I fix it? Okay, so that's good tracking. This one's in beta 3 as well, but it has a hi-fi track, so that's good. At least we got that going for us. So yeah, this is the episode with Chris Sarandon of Fright Night and Nightmare Before Christmas fame. And what's the tracking on this? Like, I have it at Unity.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, so I have the tracking at Unity, and it's already playing very well. So I still have it on norm, mix, and then hi-fi only.
Shelter for the flood victims does accept anonymous donations.
So that's playing well. Lastly, I'll show you what a Beta 1 tape on this looks like. Yeah, this was the other tape of note from this lot, from the lot that Picket Fences tape came from. I did not play this really, but it's of the show West Wing, and it's literally a recording from 2004 on a beta tape, which is alright, I guess. I mean, at least it was recorded in beta hi-fi, so it's not like I'm playing something. It's not like it has like a mono only tape, which I do have one from 2001 that I actually would like to get some commercials off of, because there was some interesting stuff off that one. So I'm talking ahead of myself. What am I doing? So I did pick up a lot of these K60 tapes like a few months ago, like at the beginning of the year, if I recall correctly. Unfortunately, what I've gone through, it has the commercials cut out, which sucks balls, but oh well, what are you gonna do? So this one is marked Marx Brothers. It started out with the end of Day at the Races, but it picks up with the beginning of A Night at the Opera. So, being a late 70s tape, this one was scored in Beta 1. So this is what Beta 1 looks like on this player, which is really nice. Really nice. So yeah, if there's no hi-fi on the tape, it's obviously going to default to the linear tracks, even when it's selected at hi-fi. So doing this yields the same output. And I didn't talk about this because I did not think to, but it does this. I don't really know, because again, I don't know all that much about the this really high-end stuff for beta. But of course, like the 1000, you can record like a special signal in beta 1, so you can do the same on here. So if I happen to find a tape that can that has this beta 1 super or whatever it is, I will be able to play it back. So that's just another nice thing about having this player. I did have the F11, which was a non-hi-fi stereo player, but something happened to like the loading mechanism on that, where that uses a 711D chassis, and that one like a gear on it on the loading mechs like snapped off just out of nowhere for whatever reason. And oh, look at that, they left it in a little bit before cutting it out. Oh, that's great. And I guess that's the end of the tape. Oh well. What are you gonna do? Commercial colors, man. You can't reason with them. So I know this is a little haphazard, but I was really excited about this pickup. And I wanted to share it with YouTube. I'm going to make this my main player because it's really nice to be able to have hi-fi and linear stereo on the same unit. So that way, whenever I watch like a hi-fi tape, I can toggle between the normal track, the linear track, and the hi-fi track. Particularly on pre-recorded tapes where, I'm still open to find another one that has a linear stereo track. Something like VHS, and I got my Pro VHS deck over there, and I got the Zenith VHS hi-fi and linear stereo deck there for my long play tapes. It seemed like they used linear stereo on VHS until the very, very end of the format's life. Beta, they mostly still have mono on the linear track. So it's, going to be very nice to be able to find a tape that has a proper linear stereo. What am I trying to say? It's going to be nice to find a tape that has a proper stereo track on the linear track, as opposed to just having like a hi-fi stereo track with a mono linear track. I hope that makes sense. I apologize. It's been what can I say, long night of partying, watching E.T. on this player. But yeah, I'm just really excited to finally have this high-end unit in my arsenal. I'm going to make this my main player, replace my 300, upgrade it practically tenfold with the 3000 here. So thank you for watching if you've watched this far, and have a great day. Bye.